Floyd, waving at rude boy. I'm waving at you, boy. Ran off on the two like true goy. Imagine me, do boy. You could never do what I do, boy. Still ducking that I did, boy. In Paris for a hit, boy. These ain't the same type of hits, boy. Can get, boy. You don't take these type of risks, boy. Cause this boy been throwing that like rich, boy. You miss, boy. Your numbers don't add up on the... That was 10 years ago. If you know, you know. Yeah. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. This thing of ours, oh, this thing of ours. Her fraternity of ringing off. I just happen to be alumni. Too legit, they still looking at me with one eye. The company I keep is not corporate enough. Child, you ain't orphan enough. A rapper turn can't morph into us, but a turn rapper can morph into Puff. Dance contest for the... I predict Al Roker. If you know, you know. I only ever looked up to... You all get a bird, this Oprah. Layers in ball shorts, coaching from the side of the ball court. If you know, you know. One stop like a Walmart. We got the for the wrong sport. If you know, you know. If you know about the port, though it's supposed to be awkward. If you know, you know. That's the reason we for circle round twice for the encore. If you know, you know. You ever been hit with the water? Then had to wait, do you walk away? If you know, you know. When we all clicking like Golden State, and you and your team are the motorcade. If you know, you know. Been granting wishes like a genie to bad in two-piece bikinis. I've been hiding where you can see me. The skybox is right next to Riri's. Solely responsible for showing rappers how to stand on the front lines when started throwing bands. Where were you when Big brought the Tigers in? Cause I was busy earning stripes like a tiger skin. Layers in ball shorts, coaching from the side of the ball court. If you know, you know. One stop like a Walmart. We got the for the wrong sport. If you know, you know. If you know about the port, though it's supposed to be awkward. If you know, you know. That's the reason we for circle round twice for the encore. If you know, you know.
Look in the mirror, how could you face that? Mask on, don't even know where my face at. Plenty don't even know where waste at. All these in the room, how could you waste that? Huh? Why would you chase that? It's a never-ending run on this racetrack. No matter what, I'ma stay black. It's a never-ending run on this racetrack. Need more jewelry. What I tell myself as I'm writing my eulogy. Ask the mirror, how you put up with this foolery? It reply, how you put up with this song and dance, all this buffoonery. Long romance, death, what it do to me. Yamagini dream was a nightmare. He was dancing with the devil for his life, yeah. We all on the dance floor. Girl, come with a dance. Puerto Rican in the breathing heavy. Little had my looking daddy. Couldn't tell him nothing cause we lost him already. Cozy boy with his spaghetti. What the money and fame, the price come heavy. The price come heavy. Like Shaq attack up on a backboard. Got me back up on a backboard. When she asked me if I love her, I just act bored. Say loser, price for it. Living movie, blockbuster, this ain't a rental. Talking moody, all these diamonds up in my dental. I get never minded if I offend you. I need the silence, chaos is in my mental. You need a PJ, first class, not what you went to. You need the relay, chase money like you sane. I'll give you the boat, chain, and plane. Fame name, that's insane. Pop up. You need a in case the movies get insane. You need a ruby, the kind of jewelry that's from the rain. I'm just here to remind you, but never mommy, man. I'm here to remind you where you come from. All this peace retreat is lame done. You can never get rid of me. I live in you. Both of us, if I offend you.
Hey, what's up, gang? Let me go secure for the game right quick. Hey, what's up, gang? I got it. I think it's my fault. For real. What's up, get the rest. Hey, I got that check-in to go. I'm gone. A lot of these look lost. They broke. They think it's my fault. No car. I want that caught. I'm dripping. I'm stuck with the sauce. Good drip. But she love you. Don't cut your... Breno Da Vinci is white. Limited Louis, that's light. Rape in the city, that's light. LED, look at the lights. We the ones don't like. But you look too light. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes. I went from filling out kites to putting it in my block. Blue Gucci sweater is drip.
Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, we've got a good one on tap between America's team, the Dallas Cowboys, and the Kansas City Chiefs. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, from one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Dallas Cowboys and the Kansas City Chiefs. Hello again, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, we look at this Chiefs ball club, and they've lost 3 straight here, and it goes without saying, I guess, they could certainly use a win.
And how do they get a win? Because they've lost 3 straight, I think it's paramount that they get a fast, clean start to this game.
Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Cowboys, they're in a real groove of late. Winners of 5 of their last 6 games.
And last week's win was indicative of how good this team can be. It was a complete performance.
The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Chiefs now coming out for their opening drive. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
And I liked what his head coach told us about him this week, that no matter what happens, whether he throws 7 interceptions or 7 touchdown passes, he's the same assertive leader in the huddle on each and every play. He can throw the 7 interceptions, just blame the football, blame anything else, and still carry himself like he is the man.
It's like you, assertive in our production meetings.
Well, especially when we're talking about ordering dinner, ordering some snacks.
I was just going to say.
That's where I go.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 3rd and 10 now. A tackle for loss there. 2 last week. He's tough to handle coming off the edge.
And when you talk about a defensive end, your first thought is, how does he rush the passer?
Well, the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if I'm going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
51 yards on the punt there. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Over, 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 over.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Oh, the spin. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early, because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And 3 yards there takes him to the 45. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Now they'll run it on the toss. Oh, and they had him stopped short of the first, but a penalty marker down. And that looks like a clear face mask to me.
Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue.
Now they try the right side here. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Okay, let's just make this one simple. We know that the running game is not their thing, but they can't just throw it on every single down without expecting some real heat from the pass rush.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. 23 yards on the play. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
They'll set up to throw. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Call it a pickup of 7, and it'll be 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
A 2nd down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. He'll look to throw. This is caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. In for the score. And the Cowboys have taken the early lead. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games and another good start to this one out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you, along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. It's that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
Well, you know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's 2 different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
James has got it. Complete. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Give him 13 yards there and a Kansas City first down.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up the first down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he takes us down deep on the Cowboys side of the field. A big play there for KC. 42 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
And before they can get settled in here, time expires on the first quarter of action. It's a close game here early on. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you and you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin as the Chiefs in possession of the football. A first trip to the red zone for KC. 1st and 10 right at the 20.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. So a good spin move there before he's taken down. A nice little gain. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Oh, and now he bowls, and he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Chiefs are an extra point away from tying up this football game.
In as many coaches' meetings as we sit in, we hear the word finish all the time, don't we? And on that play, the back actually finished getting into the end zone, breaking the last tackle. Tried to wrap up, tried to use the proper technique, just wasn't able to get it done.
Extra point right down the middle, and we are tied at 7. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. Fielded about a yard deep. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And out now come the Cowboys. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary. Figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Well, after those plays, the offense coordinator has to feel like he has balance in his favor. Threw it, then ran it, both for nice chunks of yardage. Now he feels like he's got things going in his direction, but the defensive coordinator, his guys are off balance a little bit. How does he set up, and what does he plan for in the next play? Is there a tendency there he can lock in on and maybe set his defensive call?
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Whenever I go to a team's practice facility and watch them work, I love to watch the defensive guys in what they call pursuit drills. The ball goes either towards them or away from them. How fast will they respond? On this play, the defensive men responded better than anyone and made a really nice play.
He's going to rifle one deep left side. And this is caught. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, and the Cowboys are in for 6. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, and I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away. He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies him like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
All right, here we go. Green.
On 3rd down, Marks looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Carpenter. A minute 58 to go in this first half of play. We're back to Arrowhead after this. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Marks. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Back to throw. Marks. And the slant pattern here complete. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. The Chiefs have got the passing game rolling a bit, and another first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive.
Now let's go. Green, 39.
From the gun, Marks finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense, as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. And his kick is right there. It's good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there. 10-play drive, but they stiffened when they got close to the goal line, made them kick a field goal. And for the offense, 10-play drive. They might be a little disappointed they got a field goal, but they moved the ball down the field with dispatch and came away with points.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
And he finds a man with a crossing route. 23 yards on the play. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And he comes back with one complete. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. They'll look to throw here. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He's going to fire one deep, and it's intercepted at the goal line. Snags it for the pick, and his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Cowboys out on top. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. They must have seen something leading up to this one that said, hey, we're going to be able to go deep, because they've gone deep with a lot of success.
And pick your phrase, pick your code words, your buzzwords, whatever, vertical stretch, deep passes, go routes, right? What's that route you love? What's that route you love?
4 verts.
4 verts. All of it working because they're able to find ways to get deep, and for him to show off that big arm.
We see some of that big arm right here. He has been great. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. All told, it's an even 30 and a first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
They'll run it here with Brown. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Well, they know how to protect the pass, but sometimes cornerbacks, they can also stop the run, can't they?
Is that what we call a complete corner? Yeah, because we're so used to these guys just being defenders in the pass game. How about the guys who can come up and make the tackles? That's what we just saw there for no gain, too.
And a solid run down inside the 30. 9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd and 1.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first.
Flex round! Flex round!
Now a play fake here on first down. That is caught inside the 5. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. In for the score, and the Cowboys will add on to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Chiefs offense ready for their first reps in half number 2. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
All right, here we go. Boom, 90.
Off the play fake. Marks. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Now let's go.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Marks. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big gain of 38 there on 3rd down.
That was a nice pickup, some chunk yardage there. Some of those big yards downfield with a little bit of rack thrown in there, a little run after catch. They came on a crossing route. I could just hear one of my friends who won 4 Super Bowls as a quarterback always said the same thing. What route does the defense hate? Crossing route. Hate it, hate it, hate it, because it's hard to change direction when they get going full speed in the other way.
They'll wind up losing a full 10 yards on the play. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
Hurry up, here we go.
Looking to throw. Marks. Quick hitter here. It's complete. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. Just shy of the 20. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
The well-executed slant routes are based on timing, and that one was hit just right. Ball out of the quarterback's hands quickly, right to the receiver. He catches it on the run, and he saw the end result. Big-time run after catch. They love those rack yards.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action.
Defense.
Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now you're disciplined.
We're back now in KC. It's the Chiefs with a football, but with work to do on the scoreboard, they trail as we start quarter number 4.
Here we go now.
Back to throw. Marks. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. And now nothing but green ahead of him. And he'll bring it all the way back just a yard or two shy of midfield.
Well, you're trailing. It's the fourth quarter, and you've got to throw the football. But the defense knows this, too. So they're just going to sit back, bring in an extra defensive back or two, the old nickel or dime strategy, Brandon, and wait for you to put that bad boy up for grabs. And this one winds up being intercepted.
Here's the Dallas offense now, heading back out onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
This is Brown on the carry. Finding room to the 20. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously. But at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
Oh, there's no doubt that this is a huge defensive series right here. They've got to hold them to a field goal attempt or less. Otherwise, this game just might be out of reach.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. A great effort there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. Now the extra point try forthcoming. The extra point up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. 5 plays there on that drive. And it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. 23 yards on the play. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. On 1st and 10, Marks throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. A gain of 6 there on 1st. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Here we go.
To throw on 2nd down. Marks. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Now let's go. Green, 39. Green.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Marks. And he's going to go down again.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down.
Now let's go. Green, 39.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Adam Gase rolls the dice. It doesn't pan out. And Dallas, they'll take over in terrific field position. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. So at the start of this game, it looked like the defense was wearing him down a little bit. Now you look at the numbers, that's kind of flipped.
Hey, I agree with you totally. And his offensive line has really started to play well. And the best offensive line coaches I've ever talked to, when they have great runners, you know what they tell their guys? Relax. You don't have to be perfect. Get as many guys as you can, but if you leave one free, the great runner will either make him miss or go through him. So don't worry about that. You don't have to be so precise. Just go ahead, block some people, try and create some room, and allow him to go to work.
Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. Now a handoff looking right. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. We'll give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Right back to him on 1st down. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
This will be caught at about the 6. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, He looked like one of those guys.
Back to throw here. His pass caught at the 4. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. So give him the first down. First and goal after a pickup of 4. And the decision to go for it pays off. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on first and goal. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will take it in for a Cowboy score. A great play there. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Cowboys use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6.
Well, I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
Exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head. But
that's
the
about
virtual guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
The point after is good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And the Chiefs now getting set to go. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Throwing on first down. Marks throwing the out route and complete. That's Carpenter. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Looking to throw. Marks. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game. The Chiefs on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
Operating from the gun. Marks, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Cowboys have recovered.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Young here to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Touchdown, Cowboys. As his guys are in for 6. And the Cowboys capitalize on the fumble and turn it into 6. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that. But there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with this one. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners
who
had them. Hey, listen, getting the points from me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
Point after, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball, and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Cowboys, they keep pace for a playoff spot as they move to 7-3. And now they'll have the short week ahead as they'll host their annual Thanksgiving Day game on Thursday. Meanwhile, for the Chiefs, they're going the wrong way as this will drop them to 3-7 now on the year. And they will get a home date next week as they will take on the Buffalo Bills. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.